We welcome all of you on this episode of Simha Talks, where our very own Shiv Sanjeevi Simha and V. Shankar Srinivasanji will be answering questions on the various aspects of Indian philosophy, Indian thought, the Bharatiya philosophy and Bharatiya thought. We have earlier talked about uh, Shiva's son, Skanda, who is also known as Kartikeya or Kumara or Murugan, Mahasena, Shanmukha, Subramanya. So he is the god of war and valor for the Hindus. We've talked about the origin and the philosophy behind the Ishtadev Kartikeya. An interesting thing is that Kartikeya, even though is very well known in the South India, and a little less in the North India, known, yes, known to everybody, but a little less in the worship. However, in Valmiki Ramayana Balkand, Skanda is mentioned. An interesting thing is, it is also mentioned that he chiseled a tunnel through a mountain, and this tunnel happens to exist in China. So, if nothing else, it indicates that in that antiquity, the Indians knew of everything from Sri Lanka to China to Central Asia. Today, our question is, what are the main, most important festivals related to Kartikeya? I will ask Shiv Simaji to give us an overview on what are the main festivals related to Kartikeya, the Lord of War.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Two primary festivals emerge, especially when Lord Kartikeya is concerned. One is the Skanda Sashti festival, and the other is the Taipusham festival. The Skanda Sashti is the 6th day after Deepavali, after the Amavasya of Deepavali. So it is the day when Lord Subramanya had vanquished all the Asuras, whom we discussed in the previous episodes. So usually what is prescribed is a 6-day fast starting from the Deepavali Amavasya. By fasting, we mean refraining from practicing brahmacharya, having sattvic food. Some people have food permitted according to Upavasam. Some people follow a very unique pattern of Upavasam that is only there in the Skanda Sashti, wherein on the first day they have one pepper, Kali Mirch we call. The first day they have one pepper and 1 spoon of water. The second day, 2 peppers and 2 spoons of water. Up to the 6th day, when they will have 6 pieces of pepper and 6 spoons of water. That day, in the shrine of Tiruchendur, which is in Tamil Nadu, where Lord Subramanya established his camp to vanquish the Asuras who had their military in the middle of the sea. There, the whole act is enacted, wherein the previous day, in a temple known as Shikkal, Lord Subramanya receives the veil or spear from his mother Parashakti, and he does the tapasya and he vanquishes these asuras. And all the bhaktas attend this program. On the 7th day, the next day, his wedding takes place with Devasena, after which the fast or the upavasam is broken, it is completed, and people have a full meal of a wedding. So here, if we look at the inner meaning, it is all about vanquishing our own inner demons. So 6 days of tapasya, by disciplining the mind and the body, we will be doing the chanting of the Subramanya Bhujangam, the Skanda Sashti Kavacham and prayers. So this all transforms us from and lessens our tamas and our rajas and makes us more into sattva. And when we physically participate in this whole war of Subramanya vanquishing the demons, we realize we can vanquish our own inner demons. And we marry literally Valli and Devasena, Ichha Shakti and Kriya Shakti and Jnana Shakti Subramanya in between. The second festival is Taipusham. This is very famous, especially now, not only in Tamil Nadu, but also in Malaysia. So the Tai month is the month when sun is in Makar Rashi. It is generally in January or February. It is the Purnima. And that day, pilgrims, again, they follow a mandala of fasting, and then they carry what is known as the kavadi. The kavadi is a wooden structure which has peacock feathers decorated on it. We hold it and we carry it as a padayatra, which can be many kilometers or it can be around the temple. Despite the heat, despite the lack of chappals, despite the kavadi on us, we dance like peacocks for Subramanya, because the Vahana of Subramanya is a peacock. Meaning, life, our karma, we have to carry our karma in the form of a kavadi. And we have to walk without chappals and we have to go through our karma. But if we make it as an offering to the divine and we become peacocks of the divine, we can make life a celebration. So these two festivals are very predominant festivals for Subramanya Upasana.
So we call this Shashti Vritham. There is a festival, Shashti Vritham. Is it observable in all the months or only in specific months?
The Shashti Vratam, many people follow it every month, which is the Shashti, the 6th day after Amavasya. So some people keep an Upavasam that day and worship Subramanya. This is especially done for getting a progeny, a good progeny, because getting a Suputra or a Suputri is the need of the hour today. And some people also do the Kritika Vratam, wherein the Kritika Nakshatra, when you have the Kritika Nakshatra that particular day, when the moon transits Kritika Nakshatra, that day people also fast and do prayers and worship Lord Subramanya, because Lord Subramanya stands as Jnana Shakti in between with Valli Ichha Shakti, meaning we can use our desire or our Ichha to do something good for the world. And Devasena is Kriya Shakti. To be able to do something, we need to be functioning. And Lord Subramanya represents the Jnana Shakti. To have the wisdom and the awareness to use the Ichha and the Kriya in a correct way so that we can do our Dharma.
So as the story goes, that Devi Parvati cursed all the gods, they would not have any more progeny. And at that time, when the time came to defeat the Asuras, they could not produce any. So the finest progeny had to be produced by Shiva. And that progeny came from Shiva and Ganga, who was the only one who could carry so much fire into her belly. And that progeny was Kartikeya. So this, when we do this worship of Kartikeya during the festival, Kavadi, this is interesting because in North India also now we have this Kavadi Yatra. The Kavadi Yatra, where we carry water from the Ganga, that's also related to Shiva, and to the temples for Mahashivaratri. This is interesting to note that in the South India, this Kavadi Yatra is already happening since a long time. And this dance, the peacock dance, because peacock is the carrier of the Vahana of Kartikeya. So the dance is this Kavadiyattam dance. It would be very interesting. One, see, as a person interested in India's diverse cultures and the ancient traditions, one thing that has always enamored me to go visit these and entice me, many of these devotees do body piercing and pulling chariots and heavy objects. This is more or less now happening in, for example, in Malaysia, where we have a lot of, and Singapore, where a lot of Tamil populations are there. Whether it's happening still somewhere in India, and if it is happening, what is the significance? Why do people go into body piercing?
The body piercing is all about the power of the mind. It is practiced by a significant number of the Tamil population for both Subramanya and his mother. For during the Subramanya, it is during the Taipusham festival or during the Kritika Nakshatra in the Karkamas, which is known as Adi Kritika. And for Devi, it is mainly during the Karkamas when sun transits Cancer. So there is the piercing of the veil, which we saw as the Shakti, which is Devi Shakti herself, which is the weapon of Subramanya. So this veil is generally pierced across the cheek or on the tongue or on the body parts as per the vow or the mannat of the bhakta and the devotee. Even now, there are no antiseptics and all administered. The veil is pierced. There is no, alcohol and all appeared, no medical procedure. The veil is pierced through the body part and the vibhuti is applied. And even after removing the veil, after the procedure is over, after the puja is over, you don't find the people flinching or you don't find them in pain or agony. Because it is more of offering myself to the God. In the Aarti Om Jai Jagadish Hare, we say, Tera tujhko arpan kya lage mera. Meaning, I am offering whatever is yours to you. So, by these acts of piercing, it is just my bhakti that I am offering my ability to feel pleasure and pain. I am transcending my pain and I am offering that as an offering to you. Because there is this very deep rooted tattva, especially in the place where it is practiced. There is this concept known as Brahma Lipi in South India. If you ask someone, why are you going through such a tough time? They will say, Brahma has written it. They won't complain about it. So, this is an offering that Brahma may have written something according to my karma. But by this act, I am conquering my pain, my pleasure, and I'm transforming my very pain as an offering to God. It is just a reminder that if we go through pain and tough times, we just need to make it as an offering to the divine.
So you already bear that pain. Shankarji, would you like to speak on this aspect?
I just wanted to just say one thing before we wind up this one. So in the current modern thing, we have an ad. I forget the product. It is some cool drink or something, which says "Dar ke aage jeet hai."
Yes, dar ke aage jeet hai. Yeah.
So this body piercing is the control of the mind over the physical body.
Yeah.
That's the parallel one should draw.
Right. So this is about Tamil Nadu. There is a temple at Bala Subramania temple at Ullur, dedicated to Lord Subramania, and there they also celebrate a festival called the Meena Mahotsav, and of course the Thaipuyam. So in Meena Mahotsav, interestingly, it's instead of a 6 day, it's an 8-day festival. Happens in March, April. Rest of the things are similar. I think the carrying of the kavadi and the kavadi ottam. So this is the part that there's the Lord of Kartikeya is the Lord of valor. So inner valor to suppress inner demons. If needed, yes, external demons too, we will similarly vanquish and be victorious. And this most ancient of civilizations shall not only survive, but also thrive and flourish when we are all aware of our strong past history of not just Shastra, but also Shastra. So thank you very much. Namaskar.